Hello everybody and welcome back to another video today. I'm a bit sick today, so please bear with me if my voice sounds a little bit off. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's COVID, but I am a bit sick today. Today we're going to be doing the future of the Northeast, the future of how I believe states will be in the Northeast. I'm not going to include Pennsylvania because I did do that in my Rust Belt video, but it'll be a lot of the Northeastern states. Before I start the video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel as we get closer to 300 subscribers. That's awesome. And then 300 will be a really big milestone for me. So thank you guys so much. Anyway, let's highlight all of these northeastern states that I want to characterize in the third party. I'll actually just include Pennsylvania in this so it looks better because, who doesn't want Pennsylvania in it? But yeah, this is what it's going to look like by 2050. So this is a significant amount of time down the line, and it is a bit hard to predict things. You go forward 30 years, I'm not really sure how accurate this is going to be, but this is, in my opinion, where the states are at this point and what direction they look to be trending in this point at the moment. So let's start all the way up in Maine, and then we're going to go all the way down to Virginia. So what I'm going to characterize, I'm going to go first and go with Maine's 2nd Congressional District. I see that being a safe red state by 2050, as if Republicans continue this trend of being that party of that Donald Trump really was able to consolidate, and DeSantis has been able to follow through with in Florida, and I think you'll see that going across the country with Josh Hawley, Rand Paul in Kentucky, Ted Cruz, Texas, those types of candidates as populist, being able to appeal to the working class Americans, especially in Maine's 2nd Congressional District, a very, working class district over there. I think that will shift to being a solid Republican state. Trump wanted against Biden, who is considered a working class Democrat, being able to have that good appeal. He wanted against Biden by over 7.5 points. So I do see that shift happening. Okay. And I also see that shift, if we go into 2050, happening in Maine's at-large district. I think that Maine's, it is a more of a working class district. Maine's 1st Congressional District will remain likely still, but Maine's at-large district still is similar in the sense that it is, more of that, what do you call it? I know that Maine's known for lobster fishing, whatnot. That's more Maine 2nd, but I'd say Maine at large kind of connects to all of that, very very industrious, and I think that Republicans are able to really get on that and have a lot of support from there. But yeah, a lot of the northeastern states will stay as they are. I think Vermont will remain a safe Democrat state, as well as Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, District of Columbia, and Maryland will all remain safe Democrat states. It really isn't anything I can see changing with them. Simply because they, at the moment, there's no signs of any demographic shifts in those states. And if that happens over the next course of the 30 years that, if YouTube remains 30 years from now up, you'll be able to look at this, maybe something will change, but there really isn't anything calling to that. Okay, let's go with likely Democrat states. I see New York being a likely Democrat state. I see it shifting a little bit away from that solid safe Democrat state, simply because what we saw in New York really has a pendulum shift when we look at the New York City and mayoral elections. But I see it actually becoming a more moderate Democrat state, maybe even shifting more Republican. We see with Eric Adams' win in the New York mayoral race, he beat the person, I think it was Maya Wiley, who was under de Blasio, running under that left-wing part of the Democrat Party. Andrew Yang, more moderate, also got us to 4th place, and then Kathy Garcia, another moderate, a little bit more left-wing, still lost, even after Yang endorsed Garcia. Adams beat them all, winning that race. I think it shows the New York state is moderating a bit. We saw in the 2020 House elections a few races flip with Anthony Brindisi's seat flipping over to the Republican. I forget what the Republican's name is. But that seat flipped. That was an incredibly close race, but a lot of those seats were flipping. And I think I could get a little likely to the likely category. Maybe lean, but I just don't know. I just see it narrowing up slightly. In the state of New Hampshire, let's see. Let me put it here. With New Hampshire, it's another state that really flips back and forth. I see it being a lean Democrat state still. I don't really see much of a shift. I think it has those people that like split ticket voting. They vote for, they elect 2 Democrat senators, and then they elect a Republican governor by more than 30 points in a 2020 election. So definitely has that type of state that kind of elects moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats. Jeanne Shaheen, Maggie Hassan, considered more moderate Democrats than a lot of other people in those northeastern states. Okay, let's head over to some of the three states that I consider to be a little less solid Democrat than Maryland, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. These would be the states of Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware. Um, with these states, I see Delaware being a likely Democrat state and Colorado and New Jersey being lean Democrat races. Not Colorado, Connecticut and New Jersey being lean Democrat races. You saw in New Jersey that governor's race narrow up a lot, even with, frankly, like a no-name candidate. Like, I don't even remember the name of the Republican nominees in New Jersey. I mean, that's over now. But, I mean, nobody really knew who he was. It wasn't even a national race. And he was managed to narrow that race up. And I think the Democrat, Phil Murphy, only won by about 3 points. And I know that it was technically a red wave election year. Democrats are the most vulnerable they've been. But I mean, that's New Jersey. You don't really expect something like that to happen there, especially with a candidate like that. Now, I know you could say Chris Christie was elected in Jersey. Chris Christie was he was much more of a moderate Republican. Well, not even a moderate. He was. I mean, it's a bit strange when you look at his governorship compared to how he is now. He actually shifted a bit to the left compared to when he was governor of New Jersey. But New Jersey, definitely one of those Democrat states, and I do think it narrows up. Same with Connecticut. You've seen the shifts over the elections from Obama in 2008, Clinton in 16. There has been a shift. Like, it only went to Clinton by 12 points in 2008. Biden, it went by, I think, 16 points, so it shifted back a little bit in Biden's favor. Obviously, Biden has that significant Northeast appeal. But if Harris is the nominee, New Jersey could narrow up even more, probably even less than 10 points. So I see a bit shifting up to the lean Democrat. New Jersey and Connecticut shifting up to the lean Democrat. With Pennsylvania, by 2050, that will be a likely to safe Democrats Republican state with that shift in the Rust Belt and the working class. Biden only won it by 1.2%, and that's a drastic shift. You would expect him, if he was the nominee in, say, 2012, he would probably have won that state by 5 or more points. Didn't do it. Trump won it back in 2016, and Biden shift back really from where Trump won was only about 2 point shift back, and that doesn't really say much. I think the Republican will win the Senate race there, regardless of who runs for the Democrats. But I do think that Pennsylvania will be a likely Republican state by 2050, if not solid. With the state of Virginia, another very, very interesting state, as the Republican won it in 2021. When we look at general elections, because I do judge this off of how the general elections now will vote, not some off-year governor race election, because that doesn't make any sense to judge it off of that. So when you look at general elections, I see Virginia. I don't see it shift. I don't see it going safe Democrat, likely Democrat. I see it being a lean Democrat state in 2050. I think it will continue that standing unless, I mean, and frankly, we don't really know how Glenn Youngkin's governorship is going to play out over the next 4 to 8 years. So he may be able to shift that state more to the right, considering what policies he implements. But at the moment, I still see it. It still has that Democrat identity. It's still shifted to the left, and I see Virginia going to the Democrats by a lean margin. So let me just show you, I guess, all in all, the whole thing. But yeah, basically, Northeast, a more liberal area, and only two areas that 20 electoral votes out of all of the 123 go to the Republicans. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. Have a great day.